Good morning. How are you? I hope you all started your C work as well as learning. Better you learn whenever the concept is completed. Suppose in first part we discussed about the importance of agriculture as well as three types of agricultural practices in our country, like primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming, commercial farming. And then the same class we discussed about cropping patterns. So you have at least 2 to 3 days gap between one class and another class. So within this time you divide the concept what we discussed in that particular class and then you learn day by day. So by that, before coming to the new class, your learning part also will be completed. So have any doubts, you all have my number. You can contact directly through phone or WhatsApp number. So coming to the lesson, yesterday we completed and we discussed about the different major crops that grow in our country. So in India we have diversified climatic conditions as well as availability of all kinds of soils as well as water facility. So variety of crops that grow in our country. In yesterday's class especially we focused on food crops, food grains. So there we learnt about paddy or rice. So paddy crop generally grows in Kharif season. Of course it grows in Rabi as well as in even some of the states. It grow as the three crops also. That what we discussed in previous class. So what are the weather conditions which required to grow the crop of paddy? It requires temperature of about 25 degrees Celsius and humid climate. It requires at least 100 centimeters of annual rainfall. If annual rainfall is not evenly distributed, then farmers may depend on irrigation to grow the rice. So rice occupies first place in our country as far as area as well as production in our country, and it is the main staple food crop in our country, and India is the second largest producer of paddy in the world next to China. And where it grows? In map, in previous class we discussed about map also. That means we categorize the rice growing areas into two major crop growing areas, rice growing areas and minor. Especially it grows in northern, especially northeastern, that means Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, few parts of Jharkhand, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Telangana. So in all these states comes under major rice growing states, and minor Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, few parts of Rajasthan. These are all comes under minor rice growing states. And the second most important cereal crop in our country is wheat. Especially North Indians prefer to eat wheat. This wheat crop grows in northern as well as the northwestern part of India. So it requires some cool climate during its initial stage, whereas in its ripening stage it requires more temperature that means more brightness. So wheat is in our country grows as a rabi crop, which is a apt conditions to grow in our country as a rabi crop, because rabi crop means it starts in October and November, then winter season starts. So it requires cool climate at the time winter, and it comes to its mature stage, February, March, it naturally temperatures that increase in all over India. So that's why it is very much suitable crop for Rabi crop, and it grows in northern as well as northwestern states, that what we discussed, especially Haryana, Punjab, western UP, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, as few parts of Jharkhand and all. In all these states, it grows well. And in previous class itself, we discussed about millets. What are millets? Important millets, that what we learned about jowar, bajra, and ragi. So these are known as coarse crops. These are known as coarse crops. The name itself, it is coarse grains, but it is rich in nutritional values. Suppose ragi have iron, iron, iron as well as calcium and other nutrient values, and more roughage. So that's why it is good for health. And jowar is the third most important crop in our country as far as area as well as production is concerned. So, and this bajra grows in different states, and which soils are suitable, and major bajra growing states as well as ragi also, that what we learnt in previous class, how to go through once. And another food crop, that what we discussed about maize. So maize is used as a food as well as fodder. Food means for us, fodder means to the animals, and it is mostly grows in Kharif season, but some states like Bihar, it grows as a Rabi crop also. In some other states also, maize grows as a Rabi crop. Mostly it grows as a Kharif crop in majority of our country, but it grows as a Kharif crop, Rabi crop in Bihar, and it requires a temperature of some 21 to 27 degree Celsius, as well as and rainfall is above 75 centimeters of annual rainfall. And then in nowadays green revolution technology, that is optimum use of fertilizers, pesticides, irrigation facility as well as HYV, these are all introduced in maize. The important maize growing states are Karnataka, Bihar, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, etc. And we discussed about even pulses. India is the largest producer as well as consumer of pulses in the world. So in our Indian diet, we consume more pulses, especially vegetarian people who mostly depend on pulses, because it has its rich proteins. So the people who take non-vegetarian food, non-vegetarian is rich in proteins, but whereas vegetarian diet, who take only vegetarian diet, so it is pulses are the main source for these people as a protein. So that's why India is the largest producer as well as the largest consumer of pulses in the world. So that what different pulses that grow in our country also we discussed. Those are tur, T-U-R, tur or arhar means red gram, and moong means what we can say green gram, as well as urad, black gram, and masoor. So these are all peas. These are all the different pulses that grow in our country, that what we already discussed. So today we are going to learn about food crops other than grains. These are all about grains now. Today we are going to learn about food crops other than grains with the help of PPT as well as a textbook. And then come to food crops other than grains. Sugarcane. sugarcane is important food crop. We all know sugar, jaggery, kandasari. These are all made out of sugarcane. Sugarcane is a tropical as well as a subtropical crop. That means it grows in tropical as well as a subtropical conditions. What is the tropical or subtropical conditions? Naturally, temperature is more, humidity is more, rainfall is also more. Those that what we call it as a tropical or subtropical conditions. And it grows well in hot and humid climate with temperature of 21 to 27 degrees Celsius and annual rainfall between 75 centimeters and 100 centimeters. If rainfall is less in that particular area, so they may depend on irrigation. And this sugarcane can be grown on a variety of soils and needs manual labor for sowing to harvest. That means it requires more manual labor, but sowing process as well as harvesting, all the process must be done by manual labor only, not machines. So that's why it requires more manual labor for sowing to harvesting in sugarcane crop. And India is the second largest producer of sugarcane next to Brazil. That means Brazil is the largest producer of sugarcane in the world, whereas India is in second position. So sugarcane is the main source of sugar, jaggery, bellam, that what you know, kandasari. Kandasari is also jaggery without chemicals, some pure kind of jaggery. So that means the making process of jaggery and kandasari is different. Product is same. In jaggery they follow some they may mix chemicals and all, but kandasari they won't apply any chemicals. It is also similar to jaggery. And molasses. Molasses is a byproduct which comes in sugar industry. When we take out the sugar juice and all, molasses comes as a byproduct. It is using in making of alcohol. And major sugar producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab and Haryana. Is it clear? Sugarcane is a tropical as well as subtropical crop. It grows well in hot and humid climate with a temperature of 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, and it requires a rainfall of 75 to 100 centimeters. It requires more manual labor from sowing to harvesting, as well as it grows in almost all varieties of soil. It is the second largest producer. India is the second largest producer in sugarcane next to Brazil. As well as we are producing sugar, jaggery, kandasari and molasses from sugarcane and sugar growing states. Let's see, check once the pictures which are given in the textbook once. The textbook, see once, the same picture is given, sugarcane. I think you all know about this sugarcane. And then come to the next food crop other than food grains, oil seeds. Oil seeds in 2015, India was the second largest producer of groundnut in the world after China. If you notice that in most of the cases we are in second position, especially China is in first place because India is the second most populous country. So in groundnut also our position is second after China. In rapeseed production, India was the third largest producer in the world after Canada and China in 2015. Different oil seeds are grown, covering approximately 12% of total cropped area of the country. Main oil seeds produced in India are groundnut, you all know, Verusenaga, we call it as a Verusenaga, mustard, avalu, coconut, కొబ్బరి. సెసమం నువ్వులు, నువ్వుల నూనె అంటాం, నువ్వులు. And then soybean, castor seeds. Castor seeds means ఆముదం. Cotton seeds. Linseeds means అవిసె విత్తనాలు, అవిసె in Telugu. And sunflower. These many varieties of oil seeds are producing in our country. Most of these are edible and used as a cooking mediums. Some are used as a raw materials in production of soap, cosmetics, ointments, etc. But mostly we are using as a edible oil. That means in cooking purpose and all. Groundnut is the kharif crop and accounts for about half of major oil seeds produced in the country. That means out of total production of oil seeds, only groundnut constitutes half of total oil seeds. So Gujarat was the largest producer of groundnut, followed by Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu in 2015-16. Linseed and mustard are rabi crops. Groundnut is kharif crop. Of course, some of the areas it may grow as a rabi also, but mostly it grow as a kharif crop. Whereas linseed and mustard grow as a rabi crop. Sesame means nuvul is a kharif crop in north and rabi crop in South India. That what already we discussed. Some of the crops grow as a kharif crop as well as a rabi crop. Sometimes a particular crop grow as a kharif crop in one area, the same crop that grows as a rabi crop in another area or another state. So and come to castor seed grown both as a rabi and kharif crops. Some pictures are given, see once. So regarding this, some pictures are given, see once. So this is all about groundnut. And then what is it? Sunflower, exactly correct. Sunflower, it is edible oil. Here, what is it? Rapeseed. So these are all different pictures are given related to oil seeds. This is all about oil seeds. Let's see once again. In oil seeds, India is the second largest producer in the groundnut, especially in the world after China in 2015. In rapeseed production, India was the third largest next to Canada and China. And on the whole, 12% of total cropped area is under oil seeds. Main oil seeds that grow in our country are groundnut, mustard, coconut, sesame, soybean, castor, cotton, linseed and sunflower. Most of these oils are using as edible oils and another are using as in soaps as well as cosmetics, ointments and all. Out of these oil seeds, groundnut is an important crop. It mostly grows as a kharif crop. In some places it grows as a rabi also because it constitutes half of the total oil seeds. And some other crops that grow as a kharif crop in one area. And suppose Gujarat was the largest producer of groundnut, followed by Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. Linseed and mustard, rabi crops. Sesame is a kharif crop in north and rabi crop in south. Castor seed that grows both as a rabi and kharif crop. Come to another food crop other than food grains. We can say it is a beverage crop. Tea and coffee are considered as a beverage crop. Beverage means we use for drinking purpose. So that what we call it as a beverage crop. So come to tea. Better you go through PPT. Better it is clarity is more. So tea, it is a plantation crop. Tea is a plantation crop. What is a plantation crop? The crop that grow in a large area, generally considered as a plantation crop. Generally tea also like that only. Tea estates in a particular area. So it is important beverage crop introduced in India by British. Beverage means a drinking purpose. Coffee and tea are best examples for beverage crops. So tea is one of the important beverage crop which was introduced by the British in India. That means during the British time only Britishers introduced tea in our country. And tea plants grows well in tropical and subtropical climates, endowed with deep and fertile, well-drained soil, rich in humus and organic matter. See once again, it requires a tropical and subtropical climate and endowed with deep and fertile, well-drained soil. It requires fertile as well as a well-drained soil. What is well-drained soil? That means water should not be stagnant in that place. That means if have any rainfall, water should go out from the field quickly. That means it must be in a slopey. That's why mostly tea estates which we find on foothills of mountains, because it is slopey in nature, water can't be stagnate. So that's what we call it as a well drained soil. And rich in humus, that means it requires more fertility. That's why more in rich in humus and organic matter. These are ideal conditions to grow tea. And come to the tea bushes requires warm and moist free climate throughout the year. It must be warm, moist free, but that means snowfall it must be less. Moist free climate throughout the year. Tea requires abundant, cheap and skilled labor. Tea requires abundant, cheap and skilled labor. So that means more number of workers must be available. Cheap, that means they must be available at cheaper wages, and skilled. That means they must cut the leaves as per that which is suitable to make as a tea. We know, I think you know that tea is making with the tea leaves. They dry up the tea leaves, they convert into a powder. So that's why to cut the proper leaves, it requires a skilled labor and more in number, that too available at cheaper rates. Tea is processed within a tea garden to restore its freshness. That means they do the process immediately. By that freshness will continue. Major tea producing states are Assam, hills of Darjeeling, and Jalpaiguri district, West Bengal. Of course, Darjeeling is also part of West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. India is the leading producer as well as exporter of tea in the world. So this is all about tea plantation. So tea is one of the example of a plantation crop. It is one of the important beverage crop which was introduced by the Britishers. That means initially tea was also grown by the Britishers. Tea estates were owned by the Britishers. But now most of the tea estates are under Indians only. So tea plant grows well in tropical and subtropical climates, endowed with deep and fertile, well-drained soil, rich in humus and organic matter. And tea bushes requires warm and moist-free climate throughout the year. And it requires more showers throughout the year. That means a tea plant requires more showers throughout the year. By that, fresh tender leaves will come. So which gives more yielding. That's why it requires more showers. That showers should be distributed throughout the year. And it requires abundant, cheap and skilled labor. So where it grows? Mostly it grows in Assam, hills of Darjeeling and Jalpaiguri districts of West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. India is the leading producer as well as exporter of tea in the world. Let's check once have any other pictures which are given in the textbook once. See, tea cultivation, here two pictures are given. This is the tea estate and here tea tea leaves harvesting. Here women are harvesting the leaves which comes into the ripening stage. So that's why it requires skilled labor. And come to the next crop, next one more beverage crop. Tea already we discussed it as important beverage crop. Another important beverage crop in India is coffee. So Indian coffee is known in the world for its good quality. That means our quantity is somehow less only, but the quality of Indian coffee is well known to the world. So the Arabica variety initially brought from Yemen is produced in the country. So what was the variety which was initially introduced by the Britishers in our country? Arabica variety. Arabica, name of the coffee variety which was initially introduced in our country is Arabica. This Arabica variety was brought from which country? Yemen. Do you know where the country Yemen is located? Yes, it is in Gulf countries. Saudi Arabia, I think you all know that Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia. The south of Saudi Arabia, Yemen and Oman, two countries are there. So it is the south of Saudi Arabia, the east of Red Sea. And then this variety is in great demand all over the world because it is a good quality. Initially, the coffee cultivation was introduced on Baba Budan Hills. Where it is introduced? Initially, coffee cultivation was introduced in Baba Budan Hills. So, Baba Budan Hills is a part of Nilagiri Hills, which are situated in border of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. At present also coffee is growing in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. That means in Nilagiri areas. And come to another crop. So this is all about coffee. I think so you understood well. Have any doubts regarding coffee? See once again, Indian coffee is well known in the world because of its good quality. So initially Britishers introduced Arabica variety of coffee in our country, which was brought from the country of Yemen, which is a Gulf country. This country is located to the south of Saudi Arabia. And then this variety is in great demand all over the world. Initially, it was cultivated on Baba Budan Hills. Baba Budan Hills. That means coffee initially cultivated in Baba Budan Hills, which is a part of Nilagiri Hills. At present also, we are cultivating coffee in Nilagiri Hills of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And let's see the PPT ones regarding coffee. So almost India produces about less than 4% of coffee in the world. So this coffee, these are all the coffee seeds. Coffee seeds. So tea which grow from leaves of coffee, leaves of tea, but whereas coffee, it grows from seeds. That means we make coffee from coffee seeds. So these coffee seeds are dried with heat and then it convert into a powder. So in this way coffee is made. So this is a coffee plant. Here it is given, see clearly, coffee plant and coffee seeds. So this is all about coffee. Another important different crops that we grow in our country, which are food crops other than grains, that is all about horticulture crops. So what is a horticulture? I think you learnt in lower classes horticulture. Horticulture is nothing but growing of fruits and vegetables is known as horticulture. Growing of fruits and vegetables is known as horticulture. So India is the largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world. We can say in a better way, one of the largest producers of fruits and vegetables in the world. So India is the producer of tropical as well as temperate fruits, because already we know India is a big country, and in India we find India comes under tropical zone as well as a temperate zone. So that's why in India we grow tropical fruits as well as temperate fruits. That means in both areas different climatic conditions are useful for us. Come to the fruits in great demand. Different, that means popular. We know when the people come to the market, this fruit comes from that particular area. Suppose if you take Guntur, so Gongura is famous for Guntur. Or chilies, they used to say that these chilies are from Guntur. So that means everyone can understand that the quality is good. So here in such a way, different fruits are also popular. Different fruits are popular in different regions. So mangoes of Maharashtra. Of course, mango grows in all areas, especially in Andhra Pradesh, Nujuvidi region and all. We export to even foreign countries. But generally, based on its popularity, more quantity, some crops are famous in particular areas. So mangoes of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, UP and West Bengal. These states are popular in mangoes. That means more demand for the mangoes which grow in these states. As well as oranges of Nagpur and Cherrapunji. Oranges are of Nagpur and Cherrapunji has more demand. Bananas of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Lychee and guava of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. And pineapples of Meghalaya. Grapes of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Maharashtra. And then apples, pears, apricots and walnuts of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. These are all popular regarding these different fruits. So India produces approximately 13% of world's vegetables. What is our population proportion in our country? Indian population constitutes 17% of world population. We are producing 13% of vegetables. That means still we are producing vegetables are less when compared to proportionate population in the world. It is an important producer of pea, cauliflower, onion, cabbage, tomato, brinjal and potato. And India accounts to 10% of world's fruit production. Here also it is less when compared to our population proportion is 17%. We are producing only 10% of fruits in the world. Different pictures are here, you see once. Here apples as well as here it is tomatoes and all. Let's see have any other pictures which are given in the textbook. Yes, it is there. See once. So first one is apricots, and then second is about apples. Third one pomegranate, and then here other pictures are given. See once cultivation of vegetables, that is peas, botany, and then cauliflower. Here tomato and brinjal. So these pictures are given in the textbook. You go through once you can understand. Most of the crops I think we know because in our day-to-day life we are using all these crops. So India is an important producer of pea, cauliflower, onion, cabbage, tomato, brinjal and potato. I hope you understood all. Today, let's move. Yeah. Today, we discussed about Non-food crops. So non-food crops, especially food crops other than grains. In previous class we learnt about different grains like paddy, wheat, maize, millets, pulses and all. In today's class we learnt about other food crops other than food grains. Sugarcane. Sugarcane is a tropical and subtropical crop. That means it requires tropical and subtropical climatic conditions. And it requires 75 to 100 centimeters of annual rainfall. It requires 21 to 27 degrees Celsius of temperature, and then it grows in almost all soils, but alluvial soil is somehow ideal soil to grow sugarcane. Sugarcane is an annual crop, that means it takes 1 year to give output. Sugarcane requires more manual labor from sowing to harvesting time, and we produce sugar, jaggery, khandasari from sugarcane. So, India is the second largest producer of sugarcane in the world next to Brazil. In remaining all aspects, generally China is in first place. But whereas in sugarcane, Brazil is in first place. Sugarcane production, India is in second place. And sugarcane growing states, important sugarcane growing states in India are UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, etc. And we discussed about other crops like two beverage crops, tea as well as coffee. Tea, it also grows in tropical as well as subtropical conditions. It requires more showers, which must be equally distributed throughout the year, and tea requires some humus and makes a good soil with more fertility, like humus and organic matter, and tea plantations requires more manual labor, that too skilled labor to cut the leaves which are appropriate for processing of tea. And then generally where the tea grows, India is one of the largest producer of tea in the world, and we are exporting tea to other countries also. It brought some foreign exchange. The tea is mostly growing in Assam and West Bengal, northern part of West Bengal, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And coffee. Indian coffee is well known in the world because its quality. Initially, both tea as well as coffee were introduced by the Britishers only. So, Britishers introduced coffee in our country on Baba Budan Hills. Initially, coffee was first introduced or cultivated on Baba Budan Hills of Nilagiri Hills. And the first variety which was introduced was Arabica variety. What was the variety of coffee which was brought from Yemen? Arabica variety, which brought from Yemen because it is good in quality. So we are exporting coffee to other countries. And along this coffee, we also discussed about horticultural crops, especially fruits and vegetables. India is one of the correct. Today we discussed about even oil seeds also. Oil seeds, India is one of the largest producer of oil seeds in the world, second largest in the world next to China in many cases, especially groundnut. In rapeseed, we are in third place next to Canada and China. We are in third place. And then different oil seeds that what we grow in our country are coconut, sesame, castor, as well as groundnut, sunflower, linseed, etc. So these are all that grows in our country. Some of the crops that grow in Kharif, some of the crops that grow in Rabi. Some grows in both the seasons like a castor and all. So India is in somehow good position in oil seed production. Especially out of total oil seeds, groundnut constitutes 50% of oil seeds. Out of this, mostly largest producer of groundnut is Gujarat, which is followed by Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and other states. And then we discussed about horticulture crops. Horticulture is nothing but growing, the art of growing fruits and vegetables is known as horticulture. India is well known for its horticulture. India produces different varieties of fruits as well as many varieties of vegetables in our country. We are producing tropical as well as subtropical fruits because of India comes under tropical as well as subtropical zones. And different fruits have demand, are famous, that what we discussed. Mangoes of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, like that, as well as oranges of Nagpur or Cherrapunji. So like that, grapes of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra. So in this way, some of the fruits are supposed to apples as well as apricots, walnuts of Jammu and Kashmir. These are all famous all over the country because of its quality as well as producing in bulk quantity of fruits. And come to the vegetables. In vegetables, we also produces mostly 13% of the world. Of course, it is less when compared to our population proportion in the world. India's population constitutes 17% of world population. We are producing 13% of vegetables in the world. We are producing approximately 10% of fruits in the world. So in that comparison, we are still lagging behind when compared to our population proportion. So and then different vegetables, almost all varieties of vegetables that grow in our country, those are tomato, cabbage, brinjal, these are all that grows in our country. So today just you go through these different crops, ideal conditions and in which states it grows and all. Okay, I hope you all update your classworks and learn whatever we discussed before next class. Okay, thank you.